wrist and the forearms. Breathing into those spaces where you're feeling the deepest stretch. And then come back to the center and rock side to side, getting into the thumb and the pinky edges. And then begin to draw circles towards the left. You might start with big circles and expand them with time. We'll do 3 more on this side. And then pause in the center, draw small circles in the other direction. Expanding with each new cycle, 3 more rounds. Good. Tuck your toes under, sit on your heels, and give a little flick of the wrist. Just allowing whatever came up to release from the fingertips. And then we'll do essentially that same thing, but this time in the front of the wrist. So the tops of the palms to the ground, fingertips pointing towards the knees. Once again, rocking front and back. Not overstretching it here, just enough to feel a sensation. And then rock side to side. And then begin to draw your circles towards the left. 3 more rounds. And then after those 3 rounds, switch it so that you're rotating towards the right. And so we're working on Firefly tonight. And like a firefly, how it flickers on and off, us too sometimes flicker our light on and off. Good. Sit back onto your heels. Once again, give a flick of the hands. But just because we flicker our light on and off doesn't mean that the light is no longer there. Kind of hidden. Go ahead and tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Breathe into your down dog. Breathe into the whole back of the body. Maybe walk the legs out. And you know what? It's okay to be in darkness. It's only natural, just like it's natural for the firefly to, in order to fully appreciate the highest light. And so that's kind of what this practice is about. Really tapping into our light and letting go of those negative thoughts or maybe heavy feelings that prevent us from completely tapping into that power that is within us. That power that we can then extend out to light up the world. So from your down dog, take a big breath in. And bring your gaze forward, walk your feet to the hands. When you get there, halfway rise. And so this is kind of a faster flow, only 30 minutes. Forward fold. Hang here, 5 breaths, hands to opposite elbows, sway side to side. Let the chin drop heavy in towards the chest. And then release hands to the earth, rise up, Tittibasana, palms together at the top, hands down to the heart. Inhale, arms lift up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, step back to plank, high plank. Squeeze in muscle to bone, shift shoulders over the fingertips, chaturanga, elbows tight into the body, shoulder blades together. Flip to the tops of the feet, inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take just 1 breath here, in through the nose, out audibly. Inhale. On the exhale, step or maybe jump, feet to hands. Halfway rise, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, Tadasana. Hands down, heart center. Inhale, arms lift up, exhale, forward fold. 1 more round of Sunset A. Halfway rise, plant the hands, step or maybe jump back into chaturanga. If you're choosing that, land with elbows bent. Rise up for cobra. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Let it go. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, jump, feet to hands. Halfway rise. This time, plant the right hand right in front of the feet, but in the middle of the feet. Bend the right knee deeply, straighten the left, lift the left arm up, rotate through the left wrist. Gaze is straight forward or maybe up to that left hand. Rotate in the other direction, pull navel into spine. Exhale, release, left hand down to center, right hand lifts, left knee bends, right knee straightens. Rotate the wrist, navel to spine to help you find a deeper twist. Other direction. Pause, exhale, release, hand down. Inhale, rise all the way up, Tadasana, hands to the heart. Chair pose, bend through the knees, sit down into the heels, maybe you lift and spread the toes. And then we'll cactus the arms so that palms are facing towards me. Inhale, lift arms up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, 3 more rounds, sit a little lower. Ujjayi breath, constricting the base of the throat. On your exhale, forward fold. Walk your feet wide, big toes turn out, find Malasana squat. Triceps on the inside of the knees. Push the triceps into the knees, push the knees into the triceps. Take 3 breaths here. Once again, pull the navel into spine, find length. Push the center of the chest into the thumb knuckles. Take a big breath in, hold it at the top, hold through the core, so pull in through the pelvic floor. When it's time to exhale, bring your hands down and find a where are we going here? Oh my goodness, to chaturanga. So maybe you jump back, landed elbows bent, upward facing, downward facing. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Right leg lifts up, rotate the right ankle in one direction, and then in the other. And then let's stack the right hip on top of the left, bend and straighten that right knee. And then pause. Draw circles in one direction with the right knee. So opening up through the whole right hip. And then draw them in the other direction. Stay centered through the shoulders. Come back to center, big breath in. Exhale, cheetah, knee to nose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, cheetah, knee to forehead. 3 more times. See if you can bring knee to forehead, even if you usually don't. Just try for it. See if it's available tonight. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through warrior 1, feet wide, back foot 45-degree angle. Arms lift up along the ears. Just take a big breath in, open through the front of the body. And then exhale, hands clasp behind the back, lift the heart up to the sky, forward fold, humble warrior. So you can rest the body on top of the thigh if open hips, body on the inner thigh. Let the chin drop into the chest, 3 breaths in and out of the nose. Shift the right hip back slightly. Keep the belly in towards the spine. Release the hands. Place the hands down over the feet. If you have a block, you can bring a block on either side of that right foot. Straighten the right knee, coming into pyramid pose. And then we'll flow here. On the inhale, finding length. On the exhale, guiding the heart down and then the head. So you can lift those blocks up as high as you need to. All we're looking to do is find a stretch through the front hamstring. Do that 3 more times, flowing through the spine. And then find your release, that space where you can still breathe and you're definitely feeling a stretch. 2 more breaths. Send the right hip back slightly, left hip forward. And then plant the left hand down on the inside of the right foot. You can use that block if you need to lift the right arm up. 5 breaths here. Rotate through the right shoulder like you're drawing a big circle with that right hand. Inhale, reach right arm up. Exhale, release right hand down, step back to plank. Squeeze in, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Inhale, lift the left leg up, rotate the left ankle, spread the toes wide. Other direction. And then we'll stack that left hip on top of the right and bend and straighten the knee. Breathe into that left hip flexor. Keep the shoulders centered, so not a lot of pressure in just one shoulder. And then we'll rotate the knee one direction and then the other. If you ever find that you've lost your breath or your mind is wandering, come into child's pose, into rest. Inhale, come to center, lift the leg high. Exhale, knee to nose cheetah. 4 more, see what needs to be done if you can tap the forehead. Let the breath move you. Moving from the inside out. Inhale. Exhale, step through, warrior 1. Rise up. Once again, inhale through the whole front of the body. Exhale, clasp the hands, this time opposite direction, so finding balance. Lift the heart up. Exhale, fold forward. Humbly bowing down to your practice, to your strong, able body. Maybe even humbly bowing to those aspects that you might consider your weaknesses or your dark side. Just accepting it all. 1 more breath. Inhale, release, hands straight in front, knees, step the back foot forward slightly. Choose to grab the blocks if you need them. And we'll undulate through the spine. So feet are wide like a train track. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release heart and then head. About 4 more rounds. There's no shame in using the blocks. It just means that you know what you need. Release, head down. Pause and breathe for 3 breaths here. So knowing what you need to stay supported, knowing what you need to be able to come back into your light, back into your power. Plant the right hand on the inside of the left foot, twist open. Now remember, the wider you bring that right hand, the more space you have. While conversely, if you say bring the right hand on the outside of the left foot, that brings the twist deeper. Wherever you are, rotate through that shoulder. Just 1 more breath. Big breath in. Exhale, release, hands down. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Big breath in. Let it go with a sigh. Do that again. Big breath in. Inhale, gaze forward, belly in. Exhale, jump, feet to hands. Halfway rise, forward fold. Come straight into your chair pose, Utkatasana, hands to the heart. And we find our Bandhas or eagle pose. This used to be one of my favorites. It still is. I just don't practice it as much. So hands forward, left arm under right. If your shoulders are tight, just give yourself a hug. If you have space, you can wrap the left arm all the way around so that left fingertips meet right palm. Now we're going to stack our left leg over the right, crossing your legs. And if you're tall and lean, maybe that left foot can wrap all the way around the shin or the calf. Mine doesn't do that. So I want you to think about lifting the shoulders up and then pulling the palms away from the face, finding stretch through the lats. And then on the inhale, lift up. Exhale, round forward, tap elbow to knee. We'll do that 4 times. Inhale to rise. Exhale to round. Inhale, open the arms up, lift the knee up, straighten that front knee as much as you can. And we'll lift the left thigh for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up, push through the left heel, relax through the shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Shake it out if you need to. You can shake the feet, shake the wrist. Maybe do a little horsey breath if you like. Just letting it go. And we'll do the other side. This time, right arm under left. Maybe you're different on this side. Start with the hug. If you have space, wrap all the way around. Right fingers to the left palm. Wrap the right leg around the left. Sit down into your chair. Squeeze thighs together. If you're here and you're falling out, just wrap the ankle in front of the left ankle. Use the toes as a kickstand. Inhale, lift elbows up, hands away. Exhale, round and tap. 4 more. Even though you're working, maybe you're sweating by now. Where can you find ease? Where can you soften? Where can you find light? Inhale, open up. Again, straighten that right knee. Lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Relax the shoulders and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Lift a little higher. And we're done. Shake it out. Nice work. Come back into that malasana one more time. This time, bring the backs of the palms together. Stretching once again through the wrist. And then, after a few rounds of breath there, come onto your seat. Feet together, knees apart. For Baddha, bound butterfly pose. Bring the hands to the inside of the feet, elbows on the inner knee or inner thigh. Keep the spine long, the chest lifted as you push the elbows in towards the thigh, guiding the knees down to the ground. Think about lengthening the spine on the inhale and guiding the chest closer towards the ground on the exhale. Keep the chin slightly tucked to the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Take 3 more rounds of breath here, in and out of the nose. Good. And then release down to the back for our abdominal work. Grab your block, place it in between the feet. This is one of my favorites. So you can watch me first to see where we're going. We're going to switch the block between feet and hands. So on the inhale, we lift or lengthen the legs, push through the heels. And on the exhale, we lift up, grab the block. Inhale, release back, blocked in the hands. Exhale, lift up. And so when you're ready, start with me. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, lift up. If you feel that too much in your head, you can keep, or in your neck, you can keep the block in between the feet and clasp hands behind the head. If you're choosing that option, try to keep the elbows in line if you can. We have about 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the block, hug knees into chest, and rock side to side. I don't think that we are completely done yet. We're going to do one more set of those. So again, if you find that that abdominal workout just doesn't work for your neck and shoulders, do another one that you know that does work well for you. So here we go, block between the feet. Think about pushing forward through the heels. And then inhale, shifting the legs down. Exhale, reach up, grab the blocks. And continue. As long as you're moving with the breath, it doesn't really matter whether the inhale carries you up or down here. No holding. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Release the block, hug knees in. Rock side to side. Nice work. Man, all right, and we still have the challenge after all those hip openers and the abdominal work. So we rock up, come into our squat, and I realize I've kind of gone over, so I apologize. This might be more like a 40-minute class, 35-minute. Okay, so here we are with Tittibasana. So this is the form. This is not the best form. It's not the yoga journal form, but it's my best form. And so we walk the legs so that the hamstrings are over the triceps. And we plant our hands down. We steady our gaze. And then I just like to inch my toes out. You can see I'm not that practiced with it. And then we extend our legs forward, squeeze the thighs into the triceps. So if you've never gone into this, you're probably not going to be at that point where the hands can be on the ground. But maybe you're at a point where the hands can be on the blocks. So if that's the case, you do the same thing. So you kind of walk into that malasana position, but keeping the hips lifted. And you inch your hamstrings so that they're right close to the shoulders as possible. Now, again, if this is your first time, maybe you're just here and you're just kind of hanging out and getting a feel for what it is to find a seat on your triceps. And maybe one leg lifts for a breath or two, and then the other. Maybe you're not even there and you're just trying to get your thighs, your hamstrings close to the underarms. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter. But just play with it. Just explore. If you find that you need to take a rest, you can always take a rest in malasana, and you can roll out the wrist, or like we've done, like we did earlier in the class, you can press the tops of the palms together, stretching through the forearms. And the fingers are gonna be behind you, facing towards the feet. There you go, Mary Lawrence. So I didn't say it to start the recording. We're kind of doing a private yoga session. Yay! That's it, you had it. That's the form. And so you can imagine it looks like a firefly. And so our butt would be, I guess, where the light is of the firefly. And then the legs sticking up would be the antennas. And then our arms, the hands and forearms, would be the little feet of the firefly. It was kind of fun to play with it when you think of that way, how we're kind of really representing it. Good! That was awesome! She got it for a second, and then she fell. And it's okay. So you fall on your butt, and you survive. So if you want to play with it for another 2 or 3 breaths, go for it. And then eventually we'll meet on our back, coming out, coming back, coming towards Shavasana. Finding a rest and letting go of all that hard work. We'll place our feet on the ground, bend the knees, and just find 5 breaths into a bridge pose, pushing through the heels, lifting the hips up. You can clasp the hands under the hips if you'd like to go a little bit deeper. And I invite you to bring your gaze to the belly and just watch the belly expand as you breathe in. And pull back in as you breathe out. Like a balloon, inflating and deflating. Speaking of balloon, we saw people releasing balloons in the sky last night. There were probably 15 to 20 balloons released in the sky. We were so angry and we couldn't identify which house it was coming from. Don't release balloons. That's the #1 world's worst pollution is balloons. Sorry for that, but release down. I don't like balloons. Feet wide, knees drop in towards each other. Let the low back release. Let the hips just be heavy. And then we'll just find 3 breaths on either side for a supine twist. Hips to the left, knees to the right. Twisting from the navel center. And then back to the center and over to the other side. Inhale back to center. And if you need to hug your knees in, go for it. And when you're ready, find your Shavasana, your place of rest where the whole body, mind, and energy of you can just soak in that practice, all the nutrients that were offered through that work that you just put forward. To officially arrive, you can take a full breath in. Let it go with a big sigh. And just drop down. breath soft. Keep the body still. Just notice what is dynamic within you right now in this moment. You might notice the heart beating in your chest, your belly rising and falling. Maybe there's a subtle pulsation running through your veins. And maybe you feel something dynamic, something of light and power even deeper within you. Maybe in the mind, but also maybe in your emotional body. Maybe there's some place within you that it just feels pure bliss, pure ease. Just breathe into that, be with that for this moment. And then begin to find movement as you deepen the breath. Stretching the arms along the ears. Rolling onto the right side, coming into fetal position. From corpse to fetal, symbolizing a fresh start, a new beginning. Slowly work your way up to your seat. Bringing palms together, heart center, keeping the eyes closed. So when it seems harder to come back to your light, to come back to you, or maybe you've wondered if you've ever really been living up to your fullest potential. We can find practices like this one, both on and off the mat. Practices that allow us to explore our edge through courage, through play, and through curiosity. So give yourself a pat on the back for all of that you put forth in this practice tonight. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.